Welcome back to Mcoc Al Bundy Rules. I got the final walkthrough, Quest 6, for the new Book 2, Act 7, Chapter 3. So this is going to be 7.3.6. Going to give you a walkthrough along the way. Going to get started, moving on over to the left, looking for what appears to be the easiest path, and you don't have to deal with some of those link nodes on the boss here. Taking a quick look. We got Acid Wash, Poison debuffs passive, more damage to Defender, so we need to get poisons on them. Defender is knocked down heavy attack to become debuff immune for 6 seconds. Be careful on parry. Both attacker Defender, 20% chance to apply poison debuff. So even if you don't have a champ that does poison debuffs, you can by just doing a lot of attacks by epic combos, preferably better chance. Each debuff Defender, 50% attack, 15% power rate. The more debuffs you put on, the quicker their power. And Defender is poison, attacker's power rate is increased by 200%. So, big things here. If you have a champ that can easily put on poisons, that is your best bet. However, keep in mind you don't want champs that put on poisons through knockdown methods such as heavies or specials. Someone, for example, like a Dr. Voodoo who has to knock them down with the special, they're going to be purified when they get up, so that is not going to be effective. The main one who I have, who comes first to mind, who can easily apply poisons without knocking them down, is going to be Black Widow Claire. And the great thing about her is she has her utility. I love her utility. So useful, got some good damage too. And she's forgiving champ, can do a whole bunch of good stuff. My goal here, I'm already making a mistake right there, push him to S3. But even though I just pushed him to an S3, I know I'm going to take a beating. It doesn't really bother me when I'm using Black Widow Claire as long as it doesn't knock me out, because I know I can recover that relatively easy. My goal is to use Claire for most of the path. I'm a little worried about the Kang boss. I've heard a little bit of different things. I've done a little bit of research. It's going to be my first time going through this path, but I've watched some videos, seen some research. I've seen all kinds of mixed reactions on it. So I want to have as close to a full team as I possibly can. In order to do that, I want to use my most forgiving champ for as much as I can. And we see I was almost knocked out at the beginning of this fight. I've already got her back up to 73% and can easily get her back up to 100 pretty much as I want. I am on Luke Cage. My main strategy here is one, watch out for the when he has his immunity from right there. Once I knock him down, then we got to watch out for the invincible timer, which is coming up right now. So I'll just go do the invincible. And I need to keep poisons. When I have her on the poison mode, by ending the combo with the medium, I can launch a poison at will automatically, which is going to allow for me to do better damage. If I can time it correctly, I can get some poisons on, switch her to Curse the Hellfire to do some burst incinerate damage on him. However, I have to be very careful. As we saw in the beginning of the fight, I can easily push him to an S3 if I have too many debuffs. Remember, the more debuffs we have on the defender, the quicker their power rate. So I have to be very, very cautious into that. Going to go ahead and use an energy refill to move our way forward. Next up, so Luke Cage is really one of the easiest fights on this path. Did make a mistake, but was able to recover. Next up is going to be Sabretooth. This isn't too bad either, but his specials could be a little choppy, easy to get caught off guard on him, so we're going to be careful there. You see how quick the power rate is going as we apply those debuffs. I'm getting those poisons on him, baiting out the S1s, having some dexed issues. I dexed part of it, the rest of it didn't seem to want to dexed. And I switched to Curse the Hellfire just in time to get some burst damage while I had the poisons on. Remember, when you're doing those special attacks, they're going to come back up immune for a little bit, so they're going to, any debuffs you put on during the special are going to be gone. Additionally, be careful not trying to parry them after that, after knocking them down, because they will be stun immune. Also be careful on where their power gauge is based on how many debuffs you have. It is, especially a multi-hit attack like Claire's, it is easy to push them to an S3 like we saw in the first fight of Luke Cage when there's a lot of debuffs on them. You will see me kind of toggle between the different modes of clear through right now based on what I need. Like I said, I'm going to try to get clear through as much content as I can. Therefore, I'm going to try to keep her at decent health. I want to really get into the final boss with all 5 of my teams. I'm hoping to not need to use items or revives, but I am willing to, just to make sure I get into the Kang boss with as best chance at success as humanly possible. I'm going to consider this walkthrough a rare exception to my normal rule on my walkthroughs, to where I am willing to use health potions or revives as need be. A special boss is kind of rough paths. Figured no biggie. And I'm going on through. Keeping her on there. I just switched to burst damage, curse of hellfire. I thought I was going to finish him off that 1%. Then he got regenerations and healed back up. So that sucked. I thought the fight was over. Just need to finish it without making any mistakes. And he went back up from 1 to 8% rather quickly. Got an S2. Try to be careful there. Deck start as much of that as possible. Need to get those poisons on. Again, you're only going to get your decent damage when poisons are up. So time things accordingly around that. Got through that. Gonna move on up to Thor Ragnarok. Again, I'm just gonna pretty much piggyback up my Claire. I don't normally overly rely on one champ for too many fights on a path. I'm gonna make again an exception here to give myself the best chance and the most firepower at that Kang boss as humanly possible. I recommend if you have one champ who just can kind of steamroll your most reliable, most sustainable champ, go ahead and use them here, preferably someone who is forgiving such as a Claire, and because you want to have as many champs as you can at the end to minimize the chance of using too many revives. Some revives on the fight is perfectly understandable based on what I've been seeing with that Kang. Be careful once you hit those 20 hits on Thor, his power gain. One reason I can leave her on her poison mode, because I can go ahead and not only keep applying those poisons, but I can do some power drain if I push him to that power gain mode as well. Anytime I have him hit at that 20, or once it hits 0, I try to have a special on hand. That way I can immediately launch it before he skyrockets to an S3 and causing some severe damage, most possible likely knockout on me. Got the poison, switch back to Curse of Blood. That way I can re-heal, trying to keep my Claire heal it on up as much as possible. Again, once you knock him down, be careful of that immunity. I'm looking at my count. 9, I want to bait out that S2 before I get him too close to 0. I was having some dex issues. I almost got clipped on that heavy. My dex seems to be a little off. And then I'm going to go and apply the poison. I do see the 3-2. I'm going to make sure I can launch an S2. That way I can control his power meter as I knock him out. So Claire got me through the first 3 fights relatively I'm going to say relatively easy, but I have a full health team. I have the first 3 fights for a couple percentage less on my Claire, so that's good. Claire dominated for me in there. Next up, I am going to go to Nightcrawler. I made kind of a risky decision and didn't bring a direct counter to Nightcrawler. Normally I would bring an evade counter, and even without the swap abilities, I decided I already have a plan what I want to use for the final fight, and I didn't want to put a spot on my roster specifically for a evade counter. As long as I can swap him modes, it gets easy. The only problem is sometimes when he keeps texting back when I'm trying to hit into the block and switch modes, and I'm having a heck of a time right now, of course. The time I don't have an evade counter, the time I can't seem to switch. But even if I can't switch him, if I play safe with parries and take my time, I should be able to do decent. I am doing pretty good damage without any mistakes, but every time I get so close to switching him mode, something just happens. There, he didn't even move back. The timer just stopped on me. I should have been able to switch the modes there, and I couldn't. The longer it takes me to switch modes, the more I risk. Again, so close to the timer, the longer it takes me to switch modes, the more I risk making a mistake, getting evaded, and getting countered on. So trying to be careful. He is just not being cooperative. Now I need to bait out that special. Try to bait out the special too, and he doesn't want to bait out the special too. There we go. Get on in, trying to be careful. I am losing some ground. I don't want to get cornered. Trying to hit into the block again. He just won't let me switch the modes. I'm getting a little annoyed, so I just went ahead and launched an S3 while the poison was up. Again, remember to time your specials around when the poison is up. If you do your big attacks when there is no poison on the defender, it's going to be off or not. So for the immunity, oh, and I just got evaded. Thankfully, I didn't get punished there. I am trying to be careful and ready to dex and or parry when I know I could be evaded. And I just got clipped by that heavy son of a gun. My dex has just not been, the timing hasn't been too great. And I still haven't been able to switch his stances, which is extremely aggravating at this point. I got him down a third. 30%. At this point, the fight probably will be over before I can even switch him modes, which is a bit annoying. Again, try to switch some stances, and I got punished. Son of a gun. Then I was trying to do my S3, couldn't get it off. Well, I lost my Claire. I'm a bit annoyed about that because I should not have lost my Claire. However, I need to have my team. I'm worried about the Kang. I normally don't like to use revives on my walkthroughs. Like I said at the beginning, I'm going to make an exception for this specific quest based on everything that's going on. And I have learned to regret my choice for not bringing an evade counter for this fight. In hindsight, I probably could have brought an evade counter and just swapped them out for the boss. I just already knew who I wanted to swap out and swashbuckling. Now I switch him to swashbuckling when the fight's almost over. Like, seriously. He would just not let me switch him over the first fight. I switched him over easy this time. And now the fight's simple, easy breezy once that happens. So a bit aggravated. Nightcrawler did that to me with some stubborn AI, but so be it. I got tons of items and stuff in the inventory anyway, so if I have to use one, I have to use one. I'm also going to use a health pot to give me a little bit of flexibility in order to try to get my health up on the screen. Goblin. Again, his specials can be a little choppy, so it's easy to make a mistake on him or accidentally try to dex and ones that are just a pain in the butt to dex, kind of like the S1. So trying to be careful there. I'm willing just to take block damage instead of the risk of getting hit. I am going to try to build my power-ups. I'm trying to get up to the S2. Need to make sure a poison's on, then launch an S2 to get some healing going on. I'm seeing a good opportunity coming up. I see poison, launch that S2, and go ahead do some lifesteal. Get my health back up to 65%. Now just be careful as I try to bait out that S2. AI has been a little bit stubborn in some parts in this path, and we're seeing that again. I cannot seem to bait that S2 out. He just does. Oh, come on, Green Goblin. I'm getting ready to get cornered now. Cannot seem to bait this special out. And I am not in any position to do any power drain or power steal from him either. Still cannot bait out this S2. Come on, AI. Stop messing with me. Oi. My dex is a little bit timing bad. Still can't get it out. Not much I can do. I'm in a pretty bad predicament right now. About to get cornered. Can't really hit into much of anything. Not in a position to do any power steal, and I am very millimeters from getting cornered. And that special finally comes out. Holy guacamole, Batman. That was ridiculous. Finally got it out. I'm going to try to maximize and at least create some space as much as I can. Try to get that S2 out. Already got him back to S2. Again, that increased power gain. Oh, and there's that S2. Okay, at least this one I was able to bait out relatively quicker. I can't believe how hard that last S2 was to bait out before this previous one, though. Again, that power gain with those damage over time debuffs. Okay, got an S2. Ooh, I tried to dex that last part. It didn't dex for some reason. Again, Dexing is giving me rough, so I took way more block damage than I was ready for. I'm really close to being able to get... Oh, I need to get this lifesteal up, and 2%. And I got intercepted. Oh, this path is not going to a... This AI is killing me, and the Dex not working very well. This Dex bug seems to have gotten much worse recently. It's been going back and forth. But I'm going to turn lemons to lemonade and use this as an opportunity to get a charge for my Corvus. I brought Corvus in for one very specific reason I will share once we get there, but in the meantime I saw a chance to go for an easy charge, so I'm going to go and try to finish off Green Goblin to get that charge. I was tempted to try to use him on Thor Ragnarok to get one Avenger and or a second charge from the auto block shield, but I decided I need one specific purpose for it. Oh, and I just took a heavy. Son of a... Couldn't dex. Try to dex out. It was not going. Some of the sloppy play were seen. It's me. I do make my mistakes. However, a lot of it is this ridiculous AI. And I had to do the special 2 to knock out the S3, but there was no poison on there. But I decided not to risk losing health before I need Corvus for what I want him for. Unfortunately, I thought I had an easy charge coming up on Green Goblin, but between bad RNG and trying to get these poisons in the dex not working and taking heavy straight on the chin has not helped me whatsoever. Oh yeah, well, finally got that fight over. Now the reason why I brought Corvus is for this Emma coming on up. Emma could be tricky. I decided I wanted the cleanest, easiest, pretty much for sure way to get her down without losing anybody here. Just getting those armor breaks with the parry. Easiest way. Other people do armor breaks. They might have to do a knockdown, which could cause the immunity. I don't want to knock her down for the armor breaks, so I figured this would be smooth. I'm also, the first hit of the specials don't do a lot of damage, so I'm willing and fine with taking the first part of the special as a block and then dexing out the next part. I have no issue with using some healing pots. I have a ton of healing pots, including a lot getting ready to expire. Therefore, I have no problem using any of those before the Kang boss if I need, which I probably will need to use Corvus. I'm trying to keep her armor break up with the parries, trying to get poisons on. Once I saw an opportunity with the poisons on Emma to get hits, I'll just go into master combos. I knew I was going to use lose my clave, and I'm not no issues with that. I'm going to try to play chill in the meantime until I got my charges back. I'm just going to go ahead and chill. Hit into the block. I'm kind of stalling, waiting for that timer to go. I'm not trying to really do any damage right now. I'm trying to just keep her from launching too many specials as I'm waiting to get my charges back. I got her down to 49%. I cannot risk losing my Corvus here because I don't want to put any more resources into this fight. This was the sole reason I brought my Corvus, was for this fight. Well, not the sole, because I also think he might maybe do good in King. I don't know. Okay, there we go. I got my 20 back. No, I got to switch her armor break. I need to get a poison. Can I get the poison? Inverted controls. And now she's back in diamond. I need to do another armor break with the parry. There's the poison. So I'm going to go and launch that S3. Hopefully I get some respectable damage with this. Of course, I prefer an S2, but I'll take what I can get. I did get her down to 37%, which is needed because my health is getting rather low. She is at an S2. I got to bait that out. There we go. Took the first hit. Dex the second hit. Got some poison on her while she is in telepath mode where I can do some damage. So I'm going to get as many hits as I can in her while she's in telepath mode and with that poison up. Watch out for that S2. I'm low on health, but so is she. I believe I can finish this fight. I'm hoping anyway. It's getting down to the wire. But I saw telepath mode with armor break, so I took advantage, changed some hits, got the poison, and got my S2 and finished that fight off. So this path was far from pretty, and probably could have made it through. Had I put in some more effort and going through, try to get it without losing anybody. Unfortunately, I just want to get it done at this point. A little behind on here, pushed the wrong button, and accidentally went knocked back to that screen. So my strategy is I want to keep my Corvus for the boss fight because I think he might be good. I decided I was going to use Claire for most of the path. and then I was going to swap her out for someone. I've been hearing about that 2%. I have an idea that I've heard well recommended for the last 2%. So I'm just going to go ahead and revive my Claire just so I can swap her out with who I believe should be a good counter for that last 2%, which is going to be... Dum bum bum bum, dum bum bum bum. Who do we think is going to be good? From what I've been hearing and what I've seen, Dragon Man seems like he is ideal for that last 2%. So I'm bringing in my R5 5-star Dragon Man specifically for that last little bit. I do have a low health Corvus, so I made kind of a risky choice knocking out, keeping my Corvus. We're taking a look at these active buffs right on over here. We see these active buffs. Everything is disabled based on the path. I took Big Risen took this path. We also are going to take a look at the signature ability. If you really want to use this, I'm not going to break down this boss fight because this boss fight is going to be sloppy. I'm going to tell you that right now. I'm going to explain as we go. You're welcome to kind of pause along the way. It's already a long video, so you're welcome to pause along the way. Go back and read all these abilities if you want. I am going to explain things as we go, though, or maybe I'll be able to go back and make a video specifically on this fight at some point, but I'll explain things along the way. I'm not going to get too thorough on this boss fight as there's a lot of videos already out there on this, since I watched a few of them that have helped me prepare as I'm getting ready to tackle on this fight. The big thing is it's about managing power. You got to manage power and you got to follow the prompts. And that's kind of some of the stuff that's on. You see that one up there. I need to either use a special one. You see the timer? I either need to use a special one or be a 1 bar of power when that timer ends. If I do, I get like the little charge, those power gain thingy majigas, whatever they're called. So I use the yes one, you say I got the power charge. Certain amount of power charge is going to put him in a state where I can cause more damage, kind of like the Grandmaster fight. So 0, I have to be at 0 bars of power. You see that 3 next to the 0? That's telling me the one after that is going to be 3. I'm purposefully taking the blocks there. On that S1, when you block the special, you lose power. I needed to be at 0, but I don't think you take any damage. If you do, it's not really be noticeable. Now I'm at the, I need to get to 3 bars. If I don't get to 3 bars, if you dex those, and I just missed it, watch this, I take a lot of damage. I did not meet that, I guess you can call it a mission. I didn't get that mission done in time, and I took some damage. So now there's time collapse. You see I'm getting more damage now. You see that purple thing, kind of like the Grandmaster fight. You'll also notice he's not gaining power. However, 90% phase 1 is done. I got phase 1 done. He turned invincible, now he turns aggressive. You cannot knock him down, and I think he's unblockable in that phase, so just be careful. And now he's in phase 2. Here the difference in phase 2 is we are going to have some power differences there. You see the 3, I need to be at 3. When the timer ends, I'm going to launch my S3. We also saw the next prompt, I believe, was a 0 after this, so this should be good. The big thing here is the special attacks take 50% less power. So we will notice that my special 3, after I launched, I still had a 1.5 bars of power, which makes it a little bit trickier. Keep in mind, you might need to move your power up, you might need to move your power down. Easiest way to move your power down at this point is just taking block special 1s. Well, see this? I needed to get to 0, so I just blocked all 3 hits of that special 1, got me down to 0. Trying to actually spend the special and use it doesn't bring me all the way down to 0 as we were seeing. Again, I want to make sure I'm at 0. There we go. Boom. Now I need to watch out for this heavy. That little last slow part of that heavy sometimes confuses me. I need to get to 1 bar. And I made a mistake there. But had that 50% less power. I was still at S1 when the timer ended, so I did get credit for the power right there. Use that S2. We're seeing this power charger. So you're doing those missions or prompts, and I got another time collapse. Get as much damage as I can. Notice he's not gaining power. Notice I'm doing strong damage right here. Trying to knock this king down as heavy and thoroughly as humanly possible. And that's about to end. Oh, I jacked up. For some reason, I thought that was going to cause him to switch modes. I think I got confused. And I was expecting a passive corner, but I just got myself confused. I did some bad timing on that, and I got punished lost a lot of health. So now we're going to see S2. S2 seems like it should be easy to dex too. Ooh, need to make sure I don't get to that S3. Oh, and I took some hits. I just got sloppy at the end. Angela was doing outstanding for me, considering I don't have any experience other than what I was seeing on videos and guides on this fight. So I'm pretty happy with how far I got. Although, as a lot of these special bosses, it tends to get harder as you go. It's under the 50% is what I'm hearing is when he gets more difficult. And I should have been able to get him lower with Angela. I was doing pretty well. Be careful with this heavy. I see the 0. I'm just stalling for the 0. Okay, now I need to get him up to 1 bar. Watch, I'm going to use the 1 bar. There we go. And we'll see the power charge meant too. Good thing about these fights too, the power charges will follow you between fights. I need to get up to 3. And there we go. So I'm going to go ahead and use that 3. Special 3. Not doing a whole lot of damage on Kang, as we see it's the power, that attack resistance based on his ability or no whatever. I see the stun. I don't. The S2, I prefer to bait out the S1. The S2 is easy to bait, but the S1 is what helps me manage power. Either get more power or lose power. Special 2, I don't think it works that way. But it's easy to dex, just 3 parts. Oh, also notice I wasn't gaining power when I did that. I need to get up to 2 bars. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and launch this S2, and that will give me my 4th power charge, which caused the time collapse. The first time collapse, I think, was at 3 bars of power. The second one was at 4, I believe. The phase is complete at 50%. Now things changed at phase 3. Here on the, or whatever phase we're on, this phase, under 50%, we have to be careful. Another way to lose power is using the same combo ender at the end. So let's say you do medium, light, light, medium. Then again, the next one you do medium, light, light, medium, you will lose, I think it's like a half a bar of power or something like that. Ugh, and I took a mistake. I got clipped. I got sloppy. And I went down. So I got him on a 50%. But it's not looking too well, especially we're at the harder part of the fight now, I believe, from what I'm seeing. Again, don't have too much knowledge on this fight as of yet, as I'm just trying to get through the walkthrough. I need to keep him at 0 bars of power. Create some space, got a 0, got the power charge. I need to get him up to 3. So getting from 0 to 3 is not the simplest thing. I need to get that S1. Be careful on, got a powder in the first part. These specials are like you got to dex like a millisecond before it seems like you should. And I took some hit because I didn't accomplish that mission. You saw how I lost some health because I didn't accomplish that mission. Now I got to do the S2. Again, remember, if you don't want to lose power, then do not end your combo in the same combo. I lose track when I hate kind of trying to count what I end my combos on a fight. I will lose track very easily, as I lost track there and lost some power. It gets confusing for me. If you're losing track, you can do the safe route too, which I'll do at some parts, and I'll just do 4 hit instead of going to 5 hits to avoid losing power if I can't risk losing power. And I did something there. I couldn't remember what I did my last combo on. I mean, there's enough things to keep track of. Trying to remember what my last combo ender attack is, I don't remember. I don't like that. It annoys me, especially when power is so imperative here. This fight is all about power control. I purposely got some power drain as the 0. I need to get my zeros going on. And I only got him down to 45%. It seems like he's been trying to get at this. After I got him down to 50%, it seems like the fight's been going on forever, and I've only got him down 5%. Again, this video is not designed as a guide for Kang. I'm first time going through him, my completion path, and I messed up. I accidentally took away my power by doing the same combo ender, and that cost me. I need to get a little bit more S2. I couldn't get that last little bit of S2, and I got KO'd right before a heavy because I took the damage from that. So we're seeing some mistakes. I was hoping to keep my Dragon Man at full health for the final fight. At this part, I don't know. It's not going too great for me. I guess first time through, maybe it's not terrible. I don't know. At least I'm showing you what works, what doesn't work. Not as pretty as I would like, but it doesn't always got to be pretty, right? Again, if you're looking for something specifically on ways to go through Kang, I've seen a bunch of videos, although ironically, I haven't seen any like straight solos yet. It just came out recently, but all the guides I see, they're broken parts. They edit out all the parts where they get hit, trying to make it look clean. I've seen a lot of videos with edited parts of Kang, like several of them, pretty much everyone I've seen so far, trying to make it look like it's easy to edit out the parts where you get hit and make mistakes. I don't play that game. I'll show you my mistakes too. I'm not trying to mislead anybody here, like a lot of the videos I've seen do, but at least they do give you the knowledge. I got the power gain. I'm at 1%. So another thing that's hurting me on this fight is I'm running suicides, which means recoil. You have to do a lot of specials, so I'm taking recoil out the wazoo. Normally I would manage my recoil better, but I can't in this fight because I have to do those S1s, I have to do those S2s. I probably could have took off suicides and recoil for this fight. I honestly said, you know what? I'll just use a couple of revives if I got to, and I'm not going to waste units taking off suicides and putting them back on. But the recoil does make things a bit more complicated, I will tell you that. Need to bait out this S2, watch the time memory X out a millisecond first. You see that S2, launch that. Once I get up to there, I do. So I use it S2. Maybe that was a bad move. In hindsight, I maybe should have stayed at the 2 bars, but keep in mind our power is draining per second at this stage as well. And the power management could be kind of hard. I could have pretty much guaranteed an S3 had I done that, but I was able to dex out the S1. The 50% less power used on the specials was able to let me do that special 2 and get back up to the special 3 in time. So my decision to use that S2 instead of kind of hold on to it did not backfire, thankfully. Again, I was hoping to not use Dragon Man at this stage in the fight, but based on how this fight has gone thus far, I have not found. Oh, the power went up. So I went ahead and used the S1 in time, so I did get the power charge from being at 0. Watch out for this S1. Dexterity. It's going to be a 0, so I'm going to use my special 1 to get back down to 0. I don't want to dex any specials. If you go, okay, there we go. We got time collapse. Ooh, my Dragon Man just kind of froze. I swore I was charging in and wasn't letting me go. Trying to do as much damage as I can. Finally got that. Power charge, I do see an S2 coming up. And I accidentally went too far, but I'm back down to S2. I need to use this S2. I was trying to do an S2 intercept because I didn't want to do a hit and go down. I just messed up. That was just some sloppy bad play on my part, and I think it just cost me. Oh, and I accidentally blocked. Yeah. Sloppy play there, getting used to these controls of going up and down on power based on the different ways between combo enders, between blocking specials, dexting specials. It's a very different style than we've seen. I don't think there's been a fight quite like this before. So now I'm making a decision in my head. I'm like, what do I want to do? I got team revives. I got enough to use, so I just want to get this done. Not my normal goal on here, but again, as I warned, this probably wasn't going to be a beautiful unless I got super lucky. Every once in a while I get super lucky on a boss that I haven't gone against or gone through before. Unfortunately, this is not going to be one of those. There comes the end of the, but it's okay. I'm showing you how to get through the path, how to get these rewards. Not overly painful, not taking too many resources, maybe a little more than it probably needed, but we don't always have to do them without resources, I guess, as much as I do. Completely messed up on the special there. Then I was stunned and I just lost way so much health. So I just revived my Angela, and this is not a good start right there. There's a huge pause between the second and third hit in that special. I need to get this S3 off, so I went ahead and took advantage of that huge pause between second and third hit because I needed to get my bar up to 3 bars of power and I didn't want to wait. As soon as I hit the 3 bars, remember, it would start going down. So as soon as you have that bar, do it, launch it. Again, the timing just seems really weird on these decks. You gotta, again, when you feel like you should have to dex a millisecond before it. I go ahead and launch my S2 to get the power charge. We will see him at 4 of them. I need to keep at 0. I'm going to go ahead and purposely take the blocks because I do not want to get any bars of power. There we go. I got that power charge. I'm at 5 now. A good thing is the power charges do carry over. If I made a mistake, I started off my Angela revive very, very sloppy. Thankfully, I've been recovering since then. Ooh, I accidentally blocked. I jacked up right there, and that cost me. I accidentally blocked that last part of the special, which pushed me down to 0. I got desperate and got knocked out while I was trying to get the 1 in time. This definitely is a learning curve fight, even watching some little guides and walkthroughs on there. The way the power works on this fight, a bit interesting. Pretty interesting fight. I've seen a lot of love or hate on this fight. To me, it's a pretty cool fight. Do it a few times, I'm sure it wouldn't be as... Well, it's just a whole different style than you're used to. You have to like relearn how to fight on this based on trying to keep your power at a certain level. And I jacked up again. It's a really easy special. The problem with the special is that, again, you got to dex right before you feel like you should based on normal or those similar type of projectile ones. And so you try to do it and you can mess it up. Because blocking normally wouldn't be the biggest deal, but blocking this is bad because if you need to gain power and you block, you're going to lose power. And then you can't get to the special you need in time, and then you're going to lose a lot of health and possibly KO. We do got the 5 charge. We need the at 1, so I went to the S1. We got that power charge. We're at 6. We're at time collapse. However, he is still attacking me. He doesn't stun like he did previously. So I wasn't able to do as much damage as I would have liked because during the power collapse, he was still attacking me. I don't think I thought he was supposed to stun there. Oh, I'm making a lot of mistakes on this special one now. I'm so worried about blocking when I'm trying to dex that I'm just making stupid mistakes. I'm going to try to intercept with an S2. There we go. This time I timed it. Last time I tried that, I completely jacked it up, but I got KO'd. I think the recoil knocked me out. I didn't even see what happened there. Must have been the recoil again. That is one of the big negatives of doing this fight with the Suicide's Mastery recoil on. I got Kang into single digits finally. I still got my Kingpin and my Dragon Man. If I can get Kingpin to get Kang down to 2%, I will be happy because I brought Dragon Man specifically for that 2%. Or maybe I'll get lucky and be able to finish this off with Kingpin. But at 35%, 34%, that's probably asking a lot. Got some good dexting there. Got an S2 there. Kind of take a deep breath. I need to get up to an S3. One mistake on these and this fight's pretty much over. Got some good dexting there. I could not remember what I ended my combo on, so I just stopped at 4 hits to avoid losing the power. If you can't remember what you ended on, and if you can't risk losing the power, just stop at 4 hits. And that seemed to work for me very good there. Something I kind of learned as I went through on the fight, especially in the 50 percentile. I got the stun, trying to get him down. Oh, I got him down to 2%. Let's see what I can do. I know we're going to stay close to those at invincible mode. And now we're going to have the aggressive mode. And this is going to be the final stage coming up. You got to stay close to gain power. He's unblockable. It's the rush to S3, which is why I brought Dragon Man for this. But let's see what Kingpin can do. Trying to stay close. If I do an S3, it should finish off the fight. I took some hits. Oh, but enough to get me to the S3. I'm going to launch my S3. He was at S3, but he never used it. Thankful to that King. The first part of the S3 got him down to 1%. The last part got him down to 0, and this fight is over. Not pretty, not clean, not anything great, but it should get you through. It shows you what worked, it shows you what didn't work, it shows you my mistakes, and showed you all goodies. But now we got some rewards. So you walk through this walkthrough with me. Some good, some bad, some ugly, but it wasn't too bad overall. Did have to use a little bit of revive, but nothing too over the top. I'm okay with that. Got them in stash, so I'm okay with that. But we see these rewards now. Taking a look. We'll see I have a decent amount of T5C. I have T5C in 4 of the 6. So I'm looking. It's going to either, I want to put it in one I don't have any in. So either skill or cosmic. I have one in mystic, one in mutant, one in science, and one in tech. So I decided I have higher amount of number. I also have a few better skill champs that are more likely R3 right now. I went ahead and just put it into the skill. Now I'm going to go ahead and we see these other crystals. I'm also going to use my 6-star shards. See what I get. I already know what I'm going to do with my 6-star shards. Got 20,000 there. And as we're getting ready to go to the crystals. Going through the crystals, going through. And now, let's see the rank up gem. May as well open that up, see what we got here. Not really rooting for anything in particular, but mutants always good because there's always a lot of good mutants to use. To rank up, mutants is stacked in this game. Tons of R2 and R3 worthy ones. Although I think I've ranked most of them up, but I'm sure I got somebody I can use that on. If not, I'll hold it. I got a science. I'm cool with the science there. And now, I could open up 2 basic 6-star stars, but I've been wanting to do this featured. I love this featured. There's like a dozen champs in here I'd be happy for, but my top 2 who I really want, I either want Hercules. I would go nuts for Hercules. I don't have any Hercules yet. Or I would love a Diablo. Diablo being in this featured is a big thing because I've been wanting to do because I want R3 mine. And those are my top 2, and I got exactly who I wanted. At least in my top 2 choices. I pulled that Diablo. Whoever would have thought people would be rooting for Diablo as one of their top choices. He went from serious meme, hated, to, oh, I'm so happy. So I just duped him. So that's a sneak peek. Take a gander. I already got a Mystic T5C. He's my next R3. Guaranteed right there. So keep an eye out for some future Diablo R3 play. I'm hoping this helped you. Be sure to check out my other walkthroughs. Don't forget to click on the top left icon to subscribe to Mcoc Al Bundy Rules. As always, thanks for watching. Turn those notifications on. Check my other playlists, my champ tutorials, tips, tricks, strategies, all kinds of good stuff. Got a little something for everyone.